Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Shooting the Dolomites. I don't even know what number it is, but this episode means something for me because it is about one of my favorite locations of the Dolomites, and that is the Cinque Torri, literally 5 towers. Now you will quickly find out why this is one of my favorite areas, and it's not about the Torri themselves, which are stunning, don't get me wrong, but it's all about all the other peaks. You have the Lagazuoi on the other side of these hills, you have the Tofana over here, you have the Croda da Lago on the opposite side. I mean, there's so much to shoot with every possible lens at any possible hour. So in this video, I want to show you my personal favorite of all these peaks and my takes on, the compositions and subjects. So as always, if you want to know more about the Cinque Torri area, you know what to do. Just keep watching. Okay, this is going to be tough. So when should you visit Cinque Torri? Now I could go on for minutes and minutes talking about, the best time of the day, the best time of the year, but since there's so many different subjects, I will try to give you more specific information when we are talking about those subjects. Now, generally speaking, I would recommend, just for personal preference, either summer for the wildflowers. As you can see, there are some rhododendron blooming here, and it's late July. To be extremely specific, I would recommend from late June till late July. That's kind of the season, the wildflower season. Or October, so autumn, for the largest foliage. And once again, to be specific, I would probably come between mid and late October. Okay, so from the 15th to the very first days of November. It changes every year, of course, depending on a bunch of factors, but those are the two best times of the year. You could come in winter and get some beautiful textures straight in front of Cinque Torri, so that might be a gorgeous shot too. Realistically, you could come here any day of the year and get away with some epic shots. So it really comes up to what are you looking for this particular shot. About the time of the day, same, we'll get more in depth for each specific location, but either sunrise or sunset will work. That's the general rule. At sunrise, you will have the sun rising behind the Cinque Torri, and at sunset, you'll have the sun setting on the back, okay? So depends on what type of light you want. Do you want a backlit condition, or do you want the light on the peak? Completely up to you. So you will have a wide range of options when it comes to visiting the time for visiting Cinque Torri. So starting with the Cinque Torri themselves, this is the classic perspective that everyone shoots for the Cinque Torri, right? And in this area you will find all sorts of wildflowers if you're coming during the summer season. Sometimes there are these violet ones, sometimes the white ones, sometimes even the yellow ones. Right now it's too late. Generally those are like the beginning of the July month, but of course it changes every year. But this is the area where everyone will shoot it. And in summer you will get the sun rising straight through the towers, which to me is a very particular shot. I like it. It's a little bit of a cliche, but I like it. And as you can see, this area is right behind the Scoiattoli hut, which is where one of the chairlifts arrives. And so it's literally behind the hut. It's a very short walk from it. And if you are here in autumn instead, you will not have the wildflowers, of course. So I might recommend you to go on the opposite side of these hills, shooting the towers from a slightly different perspective, as you will get the sun not rising through them, but more to the right. Okay, so that perspective might be a little bit more interesting for the autumn season. Now, I personally don't like it, but again, you should try it if you're here in October. When it comes to the subjects / compositions that you can get around the Cinque Torri, nothing beats the Tofana for me. I mean, look at that, how majestic it is. It's just incredible, such a beautiful mountain. For me, if not my favorite of the whole Dolomites, it's very, very close. Now, light-wise, you get sunset over there, so to your left, and you'll get some sort of side light, not really like a whole lot of red light on the mountain, but you'll still get some side light. And at sunrise, you will get the sun rising on the right instead. So you will get, let's say, side light in both cases, but never like the whole mountain will be fully illuminated, okay? As far as subjects, now here, one of the things that I like the most about this area is that you can play so much with the foregrounds. I mean, you have roots to play with, you have wildflowers if it's the wildflower season, you have larches to use in your foreground. I mean, there's the fact that there's not like a postcard shot that, you know, everyone goes to and everyone sets the tripod over there and it's the same shot for everyone, but you have to actually think and find your own subject in you know, it's a small area, but doesn't matter. You still have to think and get your own personal shot. To me, that makes it like 10 times more fun. So I highly encourage you to, you know, explore this little area, which, by the way, you can find on the opposite side of Cinque Torri. So if you do the round circle of the Torri, you will find it pretty much on the back of the towers if you start from the Scoiattoli hut. One of the most iconic peaks amongst the Dolomites near Cortina is, without a doubt, the Croda da Lago, the spiky one that is sitting at my back right now in the distance. I mean, look at those peaks. It's so pointy, it's so peculiar. I really love it, but with a difference. Now, in the perspective that we saw just now of the Tofana, I forgot to mention that for all those shots I would use a very wide angle, so 1424, 1635 and so on. While for this one I would use a mid tele, so 24 to 120, 24, 105, you get the gist. Because I really like to clock in on those peaks and frame it really tightly, and with the right light and right conditions, for me, is just a marvelous shot. Now you can see the Croda da Lago if you find yourself at the Scoiattoli hut, so straight in front of the towers, to your right. Okay, so make sure to look there, and you know, you will definitely have to capture a few shots of that peak. Now, light-wise, for me, that's without a doubt a sunset shot, because you will get the beautiful light on the peaks, while at sunrise you will have the sun rising behind. And since you're going to use a telephoto shot, to me that's not really ideal. So unless you really get some spectacular conditions, very particulars, I would always recommend to go for this shot at sunset more than sunrise. So how do you reach Cinque Torri? Now there's like a bazillion different ways of getting to the Cinque Torri, so I will limit myself to mention just the more popular ones. Now the Cinque Torri, you will find them on the way to the Passo Falzarego, which is one of the main passes above Cortina. And till a couple years back, you could actually drive to the Cinque Torri hut. For the majority of the year, there was like this teeny tiny mountain road that led to the Cinque Torri hut that is right below the towers, so in about 15 to 30 minutes you could actually hike to the Scoiattoli hut, which is the main point where you get the pictures of the towers. Now that's not possible in summer anymore because they've placed a bar at the very beginning of that road, and that road is only open during the autumn season now. So if you're coming in autumn, it doesn't affect you, but if you're planning to come in here in summer, well, that's going to, you know, limit your options. So now the only ways that you have to reach the Cinque Torri in summer is either you take one of the gondolas that takes you up here, or you hike. And the closest hikes, I will let you consult the maps for the real hikes, but there's a multitude of them. Probably the fastest way would be hike for about an hour and a half. Again, depends a lot on your pace. Might be 2 hours, might be 1 hour, but it's definitely a lot longer to get here during the summer season. While again, in autumn, you can drive all the way up to the Cinque Torri hut, which is closed, and then hike all the way to the final part, to the Scoiattoli hut. Alright people, this video came to an end, and well, what can I say, the area around Cinque Torri is by far one of my favorites. I mean, you have so many different, not just compositions, but subjects. It's just amazing, and that's why it's one of my favorite areas. So I really hope I gave you some useful information and you'll be able to make something out of them and capture some pretty shots when you will be visiting this place. As always, I encourage you to follow my channel and stay updated for new videos that are coming out every now and then. And well, I'll see you next time. Ciao!